Hey, what's going on, Black people? Welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Today, we're going to talk about Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi, a rapper that I don't even listen to that much, but I saw him on SNL. And so apparently his bid for attention has been successful because he's definitely got my attention. So what I want to talk about is Kid Cudi, SNL, why Kid Cudi was on SNL wearing a dress. And we're going to break all this down for you right now on drboystv.com. So buckle up your seatbelt, get comfortable, hit the thumbs up button. We're going to get started right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Give me a yes or no in the chat. I had some audio issues. Give me a yes or no in the chat. If you can hear me, let me know you can hear me and you can see me okay. I need to know that so I can move forward. So I'm not sitting there talking to myself. Because Lord knows I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes. I live in a world that don't make no damn sense. I don't know if everybody else feels this way, but I said it before. I feel like sometimes I was born on the wrong planet. So let me tell you why I today was reminded that I was definitely born on the wrong planet, maybe in the wrong galaxy, is I saw this rapper named Kid Cudi. Now, I don't know anything about Kid Cudi. He was Kanye West, one of Kanye's people. I talked to Kanye only one time on the phone, but I don't align with everything Kanye says or does. But I saw Kid Cudi on SNL, and Kid Cudi was wearing an outfit that got attention. He was seeking attention. He got it, and he was wearing this dress. Now, give me a yes or no if you saw Kid Cudi wearing the dress. Give me a yes or no if you saw this. I talked about it on my Instagram. My Instagram, by the way, is The Real Boyce Watkins. And so if you like intelligent conversations, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'll put the IG up on the screen so you can have it if you want to follow us on the gram. I need your help. I need you to follow so that we can just kind of create a space where we can all talk and be intelligent and get rid of the ignorant people because it's crazy. So I saw Kid Cudi on SNL wearing this outfit. Looks like your boy was running through his grandma's closet. He had the pearls and everything. I mean, full women's outfit. Like, it was real interesting. And that's what Kid Cudi normally looks like. Normally he looks like, regular dude. Here he is on the right with the dress on. Here's another image of Kid Cudi wearing the dress. Now, here's the deal. Again, not making fun of anybody, any man who chooses to be who he wants to be or wear what he wants to wear. It's not making fun of that, but it speaks to this interesting thing that's really going on when you talk about entertainment. Chris Rock one time mentioned that when you are a Black man and you go to Hollywood, if you have bass in your voice, if you are masculine in any way, if you have facial hair, and you're just a dude who is heterosexual, etc., which is the majority of us, right? That's the majority of us. Doesn't mean that we don't have people that don't fit that box, and those people, we love you too. I want you to know, if you're in that category, you are welcome here. I do not have an issue with who you are and how God made you or how you choose to be, whatever it is. I don't even want to get into the debate over whether you're born that way or not. That is beyond my pay grade. But Chris Rock mentioned that when Black men go to Hollywood, that there is this weird Black men in a dress agenda. Now, let's so Kid Cudi is interesting because he's not exactly a guy who is, rolling in money. He's not a guy who's making dough hand over fist. And one of the things I wondered is this sort of weird, ridiculous method of getting attention, is this a reflection of who you are? Because if that's the case, then it is what it is, right? Or is it some sort of desperate move to say, okay, being gay is in, or putting on a dress is in. I'm going to go and do what I got to do to get into the in crowd. Because one of the things you saw in the media that was really interesting was you started seeing, white folks on the liberal left really cheering this on. Like you're better than these other people because you stand out, because you made this fashion statement by putting on your grandma's dress and your mama's pearls and your auntie's high heels and going on stage. And somehow this is supposed to mean something. And the reason it doesn't mean what you think it might mean is because the question I ask is this the majority of the Black community? Now, I'm serious. I want to ask you that question. Yes or no? Do you think that the majority of Black men want to get up in the morning and, roll out some tampons, whatever ladies do, put on some perfume, make sure their weave is right, like get nice bouncy curly weave, where it bounces when you walk, right? Strap on some boot. Like, do most Black men do this? Is that a representation of most of the Black men or is that a representation of a small percentage of the Black men? That's my point, right? So this is not anti-nothing. I'm not being anti-anything. I'm not being anti-anybody. Lord knows I was in Atlanta last week. I saw that dress in Atlanta last week on a dude with a beard and and whatever, big muscles, right? Nobody's hating on that, but that's not the majority, right? So when you take something that is in the minority and you expand it, right? When you blow it up, you're ignoring everything else. You're ignoring all the great fathers out here. You're ignoring all the great men who are raising families and children. You're ignoring all of that. Those guys can't get a job. These guys don't get an opportunity in Hollywood. And you're saying, let's celebrate Billy Porter, right? I don't know if y'all seen the images of Billy Porter. He looks fabulous. And white folks love him for it. And you're celebrating the Billy Porter and you're elevating them above and beyond everything else. Well, that's called an agenda. That's pretty much when you have a message that you are trying to send to the world that is consistent with what you believe, right? At worst, that is what they call social engineering. The left, the liberal left, who've actually become the new fascists, because what they do is they ban people and they try to shut down people who don't agree with their ideology, even Black people. So they're about the biggest racists that you'll ever meet. Malcolm X warned you about the liberals, right? Don't ever fall for this trap, this false ideology that somehow these people are your friends. So when they promote an agenda, that is what you call social engineering. That is where you say this, like for many of us, our image of the Black man is that father figure who loves his woman, loves his kids, is building the communities, having a bunch of babies, in his household, and he's training them to be economic warriors. He's training them to be smart, training them to be pro-Black, right? Teaching them how to build, teaching them how to love one another, all these other things. That's our image of the Black man. But if you go on to SNL or you go to Hollywood, they have their own image of the Black man, which is much, much different. So our image of the Black man is, the Malcolm X or whatever it is, right? Because we are in that Black nationalist category. Most of us are. Their image of the Black man looks like Billy Porter, right? Their image of the Black man is this, right? He's fabulous. He's looking beautiful in his big golden dress. And they celebrate that, right? They elevate that. They celebrate that and they elevate that. And that is, to use the words of Tariq Nasheed in his great new movie that he's making, that's the butt-breaking agenda. This is not new in America. This has been true since slavery. Slavery and the butt-breaking agenda has existed for 400 years. And one of the things that Malcolm X also pointed out to you many years ago is that America is only comfortable with the Black man if he is either a little boy or a little girl. Let me give you a counterexample of that, or something that you've seen that didn't go well with America. You saw, for example, when Ice Cube came out and was basically standing up with masculine leadership and telling both the Democrat and Republican parties that you will not get our vote unless you give something to the community, right? So what he was saying is he was setting a standard, right? That's what a father does. That's what masculine leadership does, is it sets a standard. And it says, no, you ain't going to run up in here and take whatever you want without giving anything in return. You can have all of our votes. We'll all give you our vote, but there's a price for that. There is a standard that you must meet in order to get what we want from us, which makes sense. That's what fathers teach their daughters. Baby, don't give yourself to that man for nothing. You set a standard. You set a standard of behavior, right? And when Ice Cube stepped up and did that, you saw what happened. You saw that they were lying about him. You saw that they were engaged in one of the most unbelievable propaganda efforts that I've ever seen. You saw that SNL, who also celebrated Kid Cudi in a dress, SNL participated in the propaganda by doing that skit. Did anybody see that skit? Give me a yes or no if you saw that skit. I'm gonna try to find the skit with where Ice Cube, they had the fat boy, whatever his name is, the one who's been on it for like since forever because he's not very talented. Keenan, the fat one. They had him pretending to be Ice Cube, and they had the other guy who's also not that talented pretending to be Lil Wayne. And let me show you. And I'm not being mean when I say the fat boy is not talented. He really isn't. That's why he's been on SNL for 100 years. But right here, right? Remember when they did this skit? This shows you the effort to attack the heterosexual black male, but to elevate the black man in the dress. So in this skit, and this was deliberate propaganda. This was a deliberate lie. This was something SNL could have fixed with a simple fact check, but they did. You don't check the facts when you don't want the facts. You don't check for truth when truth gets in the way of your agenda, right? A good piece of propaganda doesn't let things like facts get in the way. So they had these two guys on here. This guy, the fat boy, is pretending to be Ice Cube, and this guy is pretending to be Lil Wayne, and they both are wearing MAGA hats. Now, give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Has anybody ever seen Ice Cube wearing a MAGA hat? Has Ice Cube ever gone out and said, I'm a Donald Trump lover, I'm a MAGA guy, I go Trump, make America great again? Has anybody ever? I've talked to Ice Cube on the phone a bunch of times, and never once has he ever said. In fact, the first thing he said to me when we spoke was he said, I'm not doing this for no political party. I'm not doing this for no set. I'm not going to be controlled by any particular group. He said, this is me representing the black community. That's it. And that really, I gained so much respect for him in that conversation because I said, okay, I get it. It sounds like this guy's really B1. And I was getting to know him at the time, and he was serious about this. So the fact they put a MAGA hat on him right there was a deliberate lie. That was a slander, a deliberate slander to do what has traditionally been done to pretty much any black male, masculine black male who steps up as a leader in the black community, is to assassinate him either physically or to assassinate him in terms of character. The second thing that they did in that skit, which was, again, a bold-faced lie, straight propaganda, whatever, was when they said, why are you supporting Trump or something like that? They both said taxes. Right? Ice Cube ain't never said, I'm gonna go vote for Trump because of taxes. He's never said that. Right? So my point is to make on this is I want you to see those two contrasts, and I want you to understand that within the context of the buck breaking agenda. Again, America typically is comfortable with the black man if he's either a little boy or a little girl. If I was to make a list of black men in Hollywood, give me a list. Type it in the chat, everybody. Black men in Hollywood who've worn dresses. Give me a list. Let's name some names here. No disrespect to these people. Like, if you really want to wear a dress, that's all good. But but this is really a warning to you about even sending your children into that Hollywood space. They become very desperate. They start doing anything for money. They end up looking ridiculous. They end up embarrassing the family. And just doing things that are not part of who we are, not part of our tradition. Well, why do they do that? Well, because you are a white supremacist. I'm sorry, you are a recovering white supremacist. You were raised to believe that his ice is colder. You were raised to believe that being next to him is better than being next to us. You were raised to believe that getting his validation, even if it costs you your soul, is worth it. You were raised to believe that somehow he is better than you. So they'll have you doing all kinds of ridiculous little monkey tricks, have you out here embarrassing your family, humiliating your people. Also, you can get a little bit of a piece of a check. You ain't even getting the real money. You getting the cheap money. You getting the low dollar money, but you do that for the low dollar money because you don't know how to make the big money. You don't know how to be a boss. You don't know how to be independent. Nobody ever taught you about wealth. So you are begging for the crumbs that wealthy people will offer you, and they have you on the floor begging for scraps. There's a show called Succession that I really love. And by the way, I'm gonna tell you about Succession in a minute. Let me text my friend and tell her that I'm gonna be 1 second late for our meeting because I really want her to know. I want her to know what I'm doing so she doesn't think I'm crazy or anything. But then again, the cat will be out the bag because y'all been knowing I'm crazy for a long time. Please hit the thumbs up button. Okay. So here's so in Succession, I don't know if you guys watch the show. It's a great show. It's all about legacy and wealth building. Everybody in here is an empire builder, so you would probably like that show. It's a bunch of crazy white people, but it's a good show to watch. And one thing that the billionaire does is he felt he was feeling power, not power hungry, but just kind of feeling a little bit boastful about his power. So he had all his employees in a room, and he knew all these people were sucking up to him and willing to do pretty much anything to be next to him, willing to do anything to keep their job, willing to do anything to get his support. So you know what he did? He told him, he said, bark like a dog. And so they all start saying, arf, 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 right? And then he's like, get on the floor and crawl on your hands and knees like a piggy, and I want you to oink while you're on your hands and knees. So the employees got on their knees and like oink, and he starts throwing little pieces of food on the floor, like, and saying, "Here, eat the food off the floor, piggy." And they start eating the food off the floor because they're desperate. They have no options, right? And that's kind of what I see. What I see black men. I mean, you're supposed to be the warriors. You're supposed to be. You know, like you are the original man. You're supposed to be the captains of industry. You're supposed to be bosses, you know, and you're out here on the floor, you know, begging like little pigs, like crawling around like little piggies, you know, putting on dresses or doing whatever. Like, let me show you. I pulled up an image while I'm talking. These ideas are coming to my brain. So I put up this image that I want you all to take a look at right quick. And it was like kind of this collection that, and I want you to kind of reflect on what they've made you into, what they've turned you into. It's a list of black men in Hollywood who've worn dresses. And I know you put the names in the chat, and I'm gonna read some of those names off in a minute, but I want us to kind of see this. Sometimes looking in the mirror is the best way for you to really see yourself and what you've become. So here you've got, I'm gonna go to different parts of this image. Over here, you got Madea, right? Who made $1 billion, put on a dress. Tyler Perry, I talked to Tyler Perry just one time, all right, and but he's the nicest guy in the world. He actually arranged for me to do a tour of his studio, and I appreciated that very much. I think he's a great guy. He's an intelligent guy, but I don't get on board with the Madea agenda. I just can't. Just in terms of what the black man goes through and how they kind of look at you. And one thing Tyler said was he claimed that he wanted to stop wearing the Madea dress. He said, I hate that dress. I don't want to wear it anymore, blah, 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 blah. Now, he said this to me in about 2013. And I didn't believe him, honestly. I was thinking to myself, I said, you ain't gonna take that dress off, man. Because that dress, your whole studio is the house that Madea built. Right? Madea is $1 billion cash cow for you. I was thinking he ain't never gonna let that go. And here it is, 2021. And last I heard, Medea's coming out with some sort of series or something. So Madea ain't going nowhere because Tyler Perry can't have that $100 million studio without Madea. Right here, you got Wesley Snipes. I love the guy, but I didn't know what to think about this role. You got Martin Lawrence playing Big Mama. You also got these other image. Martin Lawrence as Shanae. I don't know who that is. Y'all can tell me who that is. Kevin Hart. You've got Eddie Murphy here. Jamie Foxx, and then you got the Wayans with white girls. And so the thing that's really interesting to me that I've always wondered is because I know Hollywood's full of weirdos and perverts. We know this, right? But I kind of wonder, okay, are people getting off on this too? Like, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Give me a yes or no. But I feel like that there's something in their mind where they like the idea of seeing this big muscular man dressed up like a woman. I think when Terry Crews was doing that commercial with the rollers in his hair, I think that there was some people like getting off on that. I really will. I admit to that. Like I thought about that and I said, I bet they're getting off on this. And so, when I saw the thing with Kid Cudi and I saw everybody upset about it, I felt the need to talk about it because I think that you got to kind of, at least the first step toward fighting against a system is to become conscious of what's going on. Right. And so this is more of a consciousness exercise to say, what are you doing? Like, what is this? What are we cheering on? What are we looking at? Right. And it's not an anti anybody, right? I'm not anti nobody, right? If that's who you are and you put on the dress, I'm not going to hate you for that. I swear to God, I'm not built that way. But at the same time, you must understand that when you're dealing with a society that has built itself on your oppression, you are the fuel for America's capitalist wealth, right? So, so when you become empowered, you are inadvertently taking something away from highly entitled people who feel that they have the right to control you. And the best way for them to oppress you is to take away the thing that defends you. The thing that defends you is the masculine black male. The guy in the dress is not going to be the warrior on the front line protecting the community. The guy in the dress is not going to be the strong father in the household that is making sure that his daughters are protected. Right? It's no disrespect to this guy. I'm not saying there's not a place for him. I mean, I told you I believe in loving everybody. But if you look at, for example, models of strong fatherhood that we've seen, not that, I mean, this is all Hollywood, right? But you think about like I don't know. Let's look at this. And here I'm gonna share my screen because I want y'all to look at this. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button while I pull this up. Hit the thumbs up button. Look at this. Wait, hold on. Let me find it. Wait, damn. Here we go. All right, I did a search. Look at James Evans Jr. on Good Times. Look at this, right? Now. First of all, he did. I think in real life, he's actually that like kind of a tough guy, and that's why he kind of got blackballed in Hollywood. I remember he got into it with the people that created Good Times because they're like, okay, we want you to be this pathetic family in the ghetto, and he was a very intelligent man who actually stood up and said, this is not an image that I want our people to always see, where you're always trapped in the ghetto. And they got mad and they eventually booted him from the show. And y'all remember what happened, right? It was like when they replaced the dark skinned Aunt Viv on Fresh Prince and with the light skinned Aunt Viv, and people were like, that's not the same person. We're not stupid. And the show eventually tanked. Well, same thing's true with Good Times. When they took the daddy off the show died. When you took the daddy out of the show became pretty much worthless and uninteresting. Well, the black community is kind of the same way. When they removed the daddy from the show kind of went to the left. When the father left the household, which really occurred probably in the 70s and the 80s, when you started moving away from supporting masculine men in your community and allowing them to have a role right next to the woman, that's when you started seeing all the chaos and the bullshit starting to go down. That's when you start seeing little 4-year-olds twerking, little babies twerking in diapers. That's when you start seeing little babies getting molested in their households by their mama's boyfriends. DMX, if you look at DMX's life, the worst thing that ever happened to DMX was when his daddy didn't want him to be born. His daddy was gone. So his mother, not only did she beat him, but her boyfriends used to beat the hell out of him to the point where, and then one day she just took him to visit a boys' home, just like, oh, babe, we're just going to go visit this boys' home. And she left him there, right? She left him in the boys' home. And so, if you look at that, right, the removal of the responsible, accountable, intelligent, strong black male leads to complete chaos. You take the king out of the kingdom, and then suddenly there is a leadership void that will destroy the entire community. Doesn't mean women can't be amazing in their own right. Black women have really been holding it down. God bless them for that. We love you. We love you to death for that. But you're not going to tell me that there's not a role for me where I ain't got to put on a dress or act like a clown in order for me to get ahead. So the role for black men in general is that you absolutely must understand this fundamental rule that the world don't love you. The world is not going to somehow applaud you emerging in your true, strong, masculine form, because that is scary as hell. Like, the idea of a strong black man scares the living shit out of the people in Hollywood. They don't want to see masculine black men out here doing what they do because that's competition, right? So when you enter the space and you know that you're not loved, then the best thing you're going to get out of that space is you're not going to get love. You get love from your woman, you get love from your children. The best thing you can get is respect. If I play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and I step on the football field with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Chiefs and their fans will never love me. The Chiefs and their fans will never cheer me on because I scored a touchdown. So if I'm looking for these people to love me, then I'm in the wrong place, right? The best thing I can do is make you respect me. That means I back up, I play defense, I tackle your ass every time you try to move the ball. I throw the ball in the end zone and score as many touchdowns as I can so that at the end of the game, you say, I hate that son of a bitch, but damn, he's good at football. Damn, these guys are good, right? That's what the Chiefs are. The Chiefs are like, damn, man, we hate those, but man, but they played well today. Woo, right? And that's kind of what I think the black man lost. Like, I think that when they got you putting on dresses looking like a bitch, they took away your understanding of how this thing works. They're not. You're just not welcome in that space. Let me give you a real life example to help you understand how the world really works. Oh, this is what Uncle Boyce is here to do. I'm here to just give you the real game, and as opposed to the BS that you're getting from public school or whatever. I knew a lady. This is a true story. She was in Hollywood, and she was offered the chance to run her own studio. And there was a guy who said, "Oh my God, you're so talented, you're so great. You know, I'd love to have you run our studio, and I'll pay you $100,000 a year to do it." And it was a great opportunity. She was super excited. She was going to take this job. Blah blah blah. Now check this out. Her husband or boyfriend, I don't remember which one it was also very talented. He was better actually at some of this stuff than she was. And they worked together on projects, and he could really add value to what she was doing. So she goes to a meeting with this guy who's rolled out the red carpet and said, "Whenever you want to move, I'll get you a place to stay. I'll, whatever." Right. So she brings the boyfriend or the husband to the meeting, and he's like, "Why is he here?" And she's like, "Well, because I was thinking that if you really wanted me to be at my best, well, he's the one who he carries the weight on a lot of areas. Like he could really add value and make us more productive and blah, blah, blah." And basically, in so many words, he had to tell her, like, I want you. I don't want him. Like, no, if for you to take this job, you got to leave him at home, right? If you bring him, then there is no offer, right? Now, it could have been because he was trying to sleep with the lady, or it could be because in many cases, they want the black woman in. They want to bring the black woman in, but they really don't want your husband or they don't want your boyfriend. Like the world is kind of weird where sometimes people have an agenda that is completely underneath the surface. You think it's all about, meritocracy and who's most qualified for the job. And that's a myth. That's a lie. So you go in there thinking that you sitting next to a beautiful black woman is going to draw the interest of a heterosexual white male in terms of who they're going to promote in the company. It's not like that. The world does not work that way. He's going to look at the man and the woman in two different ways. That's why actually I saw this study. I got to go find this data to bring this to you. But they actually said the only group of people who make as much money in corporate America as the white male is the gay black male. They literally you got to be in a certain box. And some would say that it's because people sleep with people that they work with or whatever. But my point is to say at the end of the day, the black man has to figure out what his role is. You can't lean on other people to tell you what that role is going to be, because if you let other people tell you what your game plan should be, they're going to have you run around only on your hands and knees, snorting like a pig in your grandma's dress, and you're going to look in the mirror and say, "How did I become this person?" Well, you became this person because you were getting advice from the wrong places. It's like if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went to the Kansas City Chiefs and said, "How do we defeat you in the Super Bowl?" They're going to give you a big old playbook with all the wrong plays. They're going to say, "Okay, first thing you do, Tom Brady, is you get to throw the ball to our defensive backs and let them run it in for a touchdown," right? And if you're that stupid, then that's what you're going to do. And that's the white supremacy playbook. Go read books like Powernomics and Black Labor, White Wealth. That explains all this to you. There's a history here. This is not new. None of this is new. Kid Cudi is not new. There's been Kid Cudis on every plantation ever known to exist in America for the last 400 years. So you just think it's new because nobody taught you your history, because you were learning history from people that only wanted you to have specific pieces of information. So go learn your history. Figure out who you are, figure out where you want to be, and just know that there's not going to be much help for the black man, but that's okay, because part of masculinity means that we help ourselves. Part of masculinity also means that we help each other, and that's how we succeed. That's how we win. So I'm not mad at Kid Cudi for putting on a dress. I feel sorry for him because it, to me, speaks of a type of desperation that you see consistently within the hip hop music industry. You hear all the time about artists who somehow thought that the best way to make money was to become the best rapper in the world. And I can't count on both hands, both feet, and then all the fingers and hands on your feet how many broke ass rappers I know, how many rappers I know who are super talented, who make about $20,000 a year. That ain't the way to be successful in this industry. I hate, or in this world, I hate the fact that so many of our kids have been falsely led to believe that that's the pathway to success. That is not the pathway to success. That's only for most people the pathway to extreme excessive humiliation. But if every year you're seeing on Forbes where they're marketing the 10 highest paid rappers in America, and it looks like they're doing great, and you think that you're going to make a bunch of money like them, then you're going to be led down the sucker's path to success. That is not the way to be successful. That is not the way to make money. That is not the way to have power. That is not the way to be free. So go be free. So they ain't got you looking like a damn fool because you're so desperate. That's sad. That's pathetic. That's beneath us. We deserve better than that. Now I'm gonna go. Do me a favor. By the way, hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. I'm really late for my meeting, but I had to have this conversation with you guys. Also, if you want a free copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, you can go to allblackeconomics.com. The URL is right there on the screen. It's totally free. Download it, read it. That gives you kind of a breakdown, almost like a manifesto of my vision for the Black community for the next 70 years. And because I know for a fact that once we get it together, once we realize who we are and how great we can be, we literally will change the world. They see it. I see it. The question is, do you see it? If you see it, once you see it and once you apply it, you're going to be just blown away by all the amazing things that you can do. So go be great. Don't have them out here have you looking like a damn fool. So no disrespect to you, Kid Cudi, but goddamn it, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You're embarrassing the whole community. Put your damn pants on, pull them up, put on some clothes, and be a fucking man. Don't be out here having these people have you looking like a damn buffoon. It's just stupid. So anyway, I gotta go. Hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. I'm out of here. Have a good day. Love you guys. I'll see you later. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.